Hey everyone, it's Andrew Brown, and in this follow along, I want to take a look at personal access tokens. Yes, we've already played around with them, but let's play around with them a little bit more. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is go over to my repo, and I might already have a code space from before, and it's already still active, so I'm going to go ahead and open that to save myself some trouble. If you have to launch a new one, you can absolutely go ahead and do that. Remember to close your code spaces so you are not using up your free tier usage. You get so many hours per month. I don't know what it is. You can look it up if you want to know, or we'll find out when we make it over to the code spaces section in the course. And so what I want to do here is I just want to work with personal access tokens. Now we might have one set from before. So I'm going to take a look here and see what we have. So I'm going to type in env grep gh and see if there's anything set. And there's nothing set here, so that's great. And what I want to do is go to the top left corner here, go to settings, and then down below, we'll go to our developer settings, and we have our personal access tokens. We have fine-grained tokens and token classic. Now, something I would like to know, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one. What I would like to know is, can we generate them out from the GitHub CLI? You'd think you wouldn't be able to because then you need permissions to have permissions, but I'm gonna take a look here and see what we have because I'm just curious to see if it's actually there or not. And so I'm gonna just type in token, and there is a token. So it says this command outputs the authentication token for an account on a given GitHub host. Well, that's really interesting. So what would happen if we wrote that in? So I'm going to type in gh auth token and see what we get. And we actually get a token back. So I'm not sure if that means that that's that token code, but let's find out if it is by generating out a new token. Another thing I might wonder is like, what permissions do we have? I'm not sure if it would tell us. I don't think so. What's refresh? Refresh our token? Expand or fix the permission scope of the store credentials. That's kind of interesting. Like you could go out and request to have more permissions, but I'm not sure exactly how that would work. But let's go ahead and generate a new token. I'll just say create issues. And I'm going to set this for 1 day. Okay. And we'll go down below and we're going to select it for a very specific repo, this one here. And I'm going to go to permissions. I'm looking for issues. We'll say yes to issues, read and write, and we'll go ahead and generate that token. And so we can see that's what this token looks like. We're going to copy it, bring it over here, and I'm going to set it to this. So I'll say gh token equals, and then a double quotation, paste it in, enter. And so now it should be set. So if I type in env grep gh, we should see it there. Excellent. So now let's type in GS auth token and see if we get a different value. Notice that this is the one we have. Now it shows that we're using a personal access token. So this is getting loaded in by GitHub. How it's getting in there, I don't know. But this one looks exactly to be the same as this one. Let's go test and see if we can make an issue. So go down below here and we will say create. And I'll scroll down and grab an example. So we'll do this, and hopefully it'll just know to create it in the current repo. Hit enter. And we need to set a default repo, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'll choose this one here, and I'll try this again. And so it's created it. Oh, this repo has issues disabled. That's interesting. So we'd have to go ahead and enable that. So I'm going to go back to our repo here. I'm going to go over to settings. And we'll go down below and we'll turn on issues. Now we could do this via the CLI, but it's just easy to checkbox that. And we'll go back to our environment and we'll hit up. And now it's created the issue. So now the question is, if I get rid of that token, like I unset it, what would happen? So what I'll do is I'll just hit up till we get to that set. And I'm just going to purposely set it blank. Okay. And that way this shouldn't work. And so now if I do gh list, issues list. I wonder if I can get a list of them. Now, remember, this repo is public, so it's going to work because it's public. But the question is, can I delete the issue? So I'm going to say delete. And it's expecting some args. If I type help, will it tell me how this works? The number of it, that's perfect. So the number is 2, so that's easy. And I wonder if I can just put a 2 on this. Type 2 to confirm, yes. Okay, and it deleted it. Now the thing is that yes, I was able to delete it, but just understand that this thing has some base access underneath that original token. And so it probably had permissions, this one here, to do that. There's probably some things that this thing can't do. And we learned that before, which was that being able to create a repo. You know, if I did this on localhost, I would assume that this would have not worked, and that's totally fine. I think that satisfies us for learning about personal access tokens. I'm going to go back to our personal access token, go ahead and delete it, and we'll call this one done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to personal access tokens and delete this. And if you want, you can stop and delete your code spaces. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.